welcome to this month's Cheese of the Month Club video. My name is Gina. I am the retail manager at our shop here in Hyde Park in Austin, and this is Henry. He is one of our fabulous mongers, and we're just going to be telling you about your delicious selection today. So the running theme of this month is the coastline. So all of these cheeses have come from a producer that is on a coastline, whether that be the Mediterranean coast or the West Coast. So to get started, we're going to be talking first about this lemon or Meyer lemon and honey chev. It comes from Cypress Grove, and they are on the West Coast. So they're out in California. This cheese comes from Mary Keene. She is one of the pioneering goat women of the 80s. She went to France in 1983 to learn from really fabulous cheesemakers how to make cheese, and she has been killing the game ever since. We generally carry one of my favorites from her. Sometimes it's called Purple Haze, and that one's got lavender. But this one here I love because it is so bright and tangy. One of my favorite things about goat cheese is just the acidity on it. And you add a little bit of lemon and a little bit of honey, and it really brightens it all up. The lemon helps to balance it out a little bit. This one is fabulous on like a little Effie's oat cake, and definitely with a little bit of kava.
Yeah, there's a lot of richness to that. It's especially for goat's milk, feels very decadent, and I think the honey has a lot to do with that.
Yes, it like really coats your mouth when you eat it. It's lovely.
Beautiful. Okay, so from there we're going to move over to the North Sea coast of Lincolnshire, over in England, for this Lincolnshire poacher, a really lovely, kind of unique take on an English cheese. So this one, at least for me, feels very like this middle ground between a cheddar and a Swiss style. There's a lot of aroma from that, you know, coastal raw cow's milk that Tim and Scott Jones, who are a pair of brothers who make this cheese out in Lincolnshire, get to make this absolutely lovely 14 to 16 month cave-aged rind there.
Wow. I was not expecting the salt on that. I really like the salt level. Usually most like English cheddars I associate more with like that earthiness, but this has a really nice balance of earthiness and salt.
Definitely, and a lot of that comes from that coastal element of it, with the you know, sea spray coming up and literally causing the milk itself to be saltier. This one's also going to have a little bit of that, at least for me, sort of quintessential English dryness to it. It's very sort of like slightly crumbly, while still having a little bit of almost this nutty character reminiscent of like an Alpine style. So really beautiful. Fun stuff.
Yes. And speaking of crumbly, our next cheese here is Bianco Sardo, which is from the Mediterranean coast. And this is a pecorino. So this is a sheep's milk hard cheese. And what I really love about this is you can snack on it, or you can grate it into pastas. Pecorino is a very traditional, very classic hard Italian cheese. And I love that you can take, you know, sheep's milk and just create so many different flavors through it. So I like this one because it's great for pastas. It's got that classic kind of peppery bite to it as well. It's really, really lovely.
This one also has a lot of like the sweetness and nuttiness that you can get from sheep's milk, which I don't always get as much from like a pecorino romano. This one, it's got the salt there, but it's also got this really lovely, like delicate sheep's milk sweetness that's really pleasant.
I completely agree. And not too much pepper too, which I appreciate for snacking on cheeses versus, you know, making or using them in recipes. I love it when it's not too peppery, so you can really keep on eating.
Excellent. And then finishing off, we had our West Coast, so now we're on to our East Coast here with the Great Hills Blue out of Massachusetts. This guy is going to be a very interesting, also raw cow's milk blue. Ooh, and very sort of like tangy on the nose, very bright. It's almost got like this citrus quality to it, but let's see what the taste is like.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. That's nice.
Definitely in that crumbly area.
Ooh, I like that.
A little bit of almost this like slightly doughy quality to it. Sort of bready, yeasty ideas going on there. It's definitely not the most intense blue. It's got that blue character there, but it's honestly, the milk is really what's showing through. That coastal, salty milk. So I think this is a great sort of like encapsulation of everything that this month is about. With the salty, just fresh raw cow's milk there, really bringing that lovely like bright bite. The blue showing off, sort of putting that on a pedestal without overwhelming it, without taking away the attention from what is just really solid raw cow's milk there. Beautiful stuff.
Definitely. I think this is a great like intro to blue too. Like Henry was saying, it's not overwhelmingly blue. You really get that milk. It's very milk forward. So I think this is great if you're like just stepping into blues. But I hope that all of you guys really enjoy all of your cheeses this month, and continue to enjoy all of your cheeses, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks.
Well. Alrighty, y'all. Quick correction there. It is Tim and Simon Jones, not Tim and Scott. My mistake there.
We just want to make sure that we're giving credit where credit is due. But that one was for the Lincolnshire Poacher.
Absolutely.